Have you ever wondered what someone's last words reveal about who they really were? Today we're talking about a Hollywood legend whose final whispered words proved something powerful about love and strength. And if you stick with us until the end, we'll share how his legacy continues to touch lives even today. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. This is a story about a man who made millions believe in love through his movies. He wasn't just talented, he was real. He made romance look effortless and action scenes look easy. But behind all that charm, he was fighting a battle nobody could see. And when the end came, the 3 words he whispered revealed everything about who he truly was. Let's go back to early 2008. He was 55 years old and still working hard. He had just finished filming a new TV show where he played a tough FBI agent. But something was wrong. He started feeling pain in his stomach. At first, he ignored it. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe it'll go away. But it didn't. It got worse. During filming, the pain would get so bad that he'd bend over between scenes. Finally, his friends convinced him to see a doctor. What the doctor told him changed everything. Pancreatic cancer. Advanced. Already spreading. The doctor gave him maybe 6 months to live. Maybe 2 years if he was lucky. But here's the thing. He didn't break down. His wife was with him at that appointment. She said later that he just sat there quietly. He took a breath. He nodded. It wasn't that he didn't care. It was that he had already decided something. He was going to fight. Within days, the news leaked. Tabloids started running headlines. Magazines published photos of him looking thinner and tired. Some even started writing his obituary while he was still alive. Can you imagine reading about your own death while you're still fighting to live? But he didn't hide. He looked the cameras in the eye and said, "I'm not finished. I have a lot more living to do." Most people facing that diagnosis would stop working. But not him. He went back to the set even though he was going through chemotherapy. Even though he was in pain. The cast and crew couldn't believe it. He showed up early every single day. He worked 12-hour shifts. He refused to take strong painkillers during filming because he wanted his acting to be sharp. The director said later, if you didn't know he was sick, you'd never guess it. Behind the scenes, his wife became his anchor. She drove him to set every morning. She managed his medications. When people asked why he kept working, he gave a simple answer. When I work, I feel alive. Acting wasn't just a job. It was his purpose. It gave him a reason to wake up. When his TV show premiered in early 2009, critics loved it. What they didn't know was that every single scene had been filmed between chemotherapy sessions. The show only lasted 1 season, but it became proof of his courage. His final professional victory before his body couldn't keep going anymore. Now let's talk about the person who stood beside him through all of this. His wife. They had been together for more than 30 years. They met when she was just 14 at his mother's dance school. They fell in love and got married in 1975. For 3 decades, they built a life together. Fame didn't change them. When cancer entered their lives, their love became something even deeper. She wasn't just his wife anymore. She was his nurse, his protector. Every morning started the same way. She'd check his temperature, prepare his medications, help him move when the pain was too much. They lived every day like it was the last, but they never said those words out loud. Their home became a peaceful sanctuary. They read books together, listened to music, watched sunsets from their ranch. He told her once, "When I'm here, I'm not a star. I'm just me." Friends who visited said the house felt surprisingly calm. Not sad, just peaceful. She rarely left his side. In the evenings, she'd read to him or play music. His body was failing, but their love never wavered. They had once wanted children. Years earlier, they had lost a baby. After that, they decided their marriage itself was their legacy. He said it best. "We don't need kids to be a family. We're everything to each other." By spring 2009, the treatments stopped working. The cancer had spread to his liver. The doctors told him the truth. There was nothing more they could do. He decided to spend whatever time he had left at home. No hospitals, just peace and privacy. His wife wrote everything down. Every temperature, every meal, every mood. He never complained, she wrote later. Even when the pain was obvious, he tried to comfort me instead. Can you imagine being in terrible pain, but still trying to make someone else feel better? He spent most of his time reading, listening to music, or just sitting by the window. Friends said he seemed calm, at peace. In January 2009, he got pneumonia. Many people thought that was the end, but he recovered and came back home. He wasn't ready to let go yet. By early September, he got much worse. He couldn't stand on his own anymore. He could barely speak. But even then, when he looked at her, he smiled. September 14th, 2009 was a quiet afternoon. He was lying in bed at home. Sunlight was coming through the curtains. His breathing was shallow. His eyes were half closed. But there was no fear, only peace. His wife sat beside him holding his hand. She wrote later that he had become too weak to talk much. But at one point, she leaned in close. She whispered, "I love you." For just a moment, his lips moved. He whispered back, "I love you." Those were the last words he ever spoke. 3 simple words. A whole lifetime summed up in 3 words. She said she knew right then that he was at peace. A few minutes later, he took his final breath. He was 57 years old. She stayed beside him long after his heart stopped. She kept whispering those same words. Even after he was gone, I kept talking to him, she wrote later. When the news went public, grief spread around the world. Fans gathered at the places where his movies were filmed. They lit candles. They left notes. It wasn't just about losing an actor. It was about losing a man who lived and died with grace. In the years after, his name didn't fade. It got stronger. A few years later, his wife published a memoir describing him as a man who faced death the way he faced life, with courage, with humor, with love. A memorial stone was placed at the hotel where his most famous movie was filmed. Fans visit from all over the world leaving letters, flowers, and dance shoes. His wife became a public advocate for pancreatic cancer research. In 2023, she received an award and said, "I couldn't stop him from leaving, but I can make sure he never disappears." And here's what we promised at the beginning. His legacy lives on in an incredible way. Every year, thousands visit memorials in his honor. His wife continues fighting for cancer research, helping fund treatments that could save lives. And his movies continue introducing new generations to a man who refused to give up. His story isn't just about loss. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and facing the unthinkable with grace. His final words weren't dramatic. They were real. Even in death, he reminded us what truly matters: the people we love and the moments we share. So what's your favorite moment from his career? Let us know in the comments. And if this story touched your heart, like this video, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Because some names never fade. And his is definitely one of them.